I know that probably very disappointing to some of y'all, but I am back to live another day, to talk another day, to irritate you with the sound of my voice one more time, at least. And then this one's going to be another one of those personal ones because I just don't know why people like base them with actual like facts. They freak out, lose their mind. They can't actually give you any fact as to why they're losing their mind. Then they start calling you names and telling you you're delusional, et cetera, et cetera. I mean, I don't know, like basic facts. I mean, like there's a lot of things, this is like we're talking about Afghanistan. I wasn't even trying. They just sent me something. I was like, yeah, no. I still think it's Biden's fault. Well, he's the one that decided to pull out this way. So yeah. And leave everything behind and bases and equipment and all that. So yeah. Like, and these are all numbers coming from like and facts stuff coming from John Kirby. A tall idiot. Can't think of his name right now. He's a tall idiot in a suit. Useless. And I mean, Psaki's saying it, Lincoln said it, Secretary of Defense, Chairman of the Joint Chiefs. I mean, like, they all like were the ones saying everything, which is what I was giving him my facts based on. Whatever the hell they are, it's what came out of their mouth, and somehow I'm the delusional one. Like, I mean, how far up your own ass do you have to be when you're getting basic facts that are coming from the people you wanted in charge and then telling me I'm crazy when I'm giving them to you? And I'm delusional. Like, that pretty much, I guess, confirms that you think that they're just as crazy as I do. Because again, it's literally with stuff coming out of their mouth. Didn't make any of it up. Didn't get anything off the news. Literally got it directly from the horse's mouth. And then I got my head blown off for being delusional and crazy and da 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 da. So here we go. Things this human being and a lot of other people think are true, but have been disproven by, I don't know, stats and lots of investigations from people that can really, really investigate things. And go over that. Then we'll see who's really delusional, because heaven forbid I use again actual stats from like his side of the aisle coming out of their mouth. But here we go. Russian collusion. Do you guys know how many people actually got indicted for any sort of collusion with the Russians? Well, yeah, that was right. Trump's team. No one actually got hit with collusion. There's some tax stuff, there's dumb stuff, but there was no anywhere near collusion. In fact, if anyone colluded, if you actually look at the whole trail, like the DNC and Hillary, they really did pay for it and illegally spy on him. Like, that was actually real. Him colluding was not real. But I still get yelled at all the time that it really happened. Like, actually, there's all kinds of testimony and sworn statements and all kinds of stuff that they've done where they're straight up saying, yeah, that sorry, I had nothing. There was nothing. Like, they've admitted it. Just because you're a dumbass and you just think like that we're all crazy, guess what? That got disproven. I'm sorry, but I'm not sorry, because you're gonna call me every name in the book, crazy, delusional, this, that, and the other thing. I'm not gonna go and get into all the profanity I get, but like, that's actually real. It's a very real thing. Like, no one got hit with it at all after all the early morning raids and all the millions of dollars wasted and time wasted when the government could have been spending their time on actual things, not just attacking Trump. That's why I love my mother to death, because she finally switched sides, and it was just strictly because she sat there and watched it, but they haven't actually done anything. They've just been going after him the whole time. They accomplished nothing for the country, which doesn't take much for a brain to figure any of that out. But guess what? That was a real thing. Or how about we go with the Trump being a racist thing and never denouncing white supremacy, even though, there's like 20, 30-minute compilations of him saying it, KKK terrorist group, I mean, going back to the 90s, like there's no actual anything. No, she never heard about it until suddenly he was running for office. Suddenly he was the biggest race of all time. But then somehow he got all those extra Black and Latino and all that votes compared to the first time around, which, he dug way into the thing, like, which was giant and good, because people actually, Don't listen to like words and stupid that comes out of people's mouth. Like people actually like see it, action, or maybe, I don't know, safety, paychecks going up, and it's a better world for people. But again, he's a giant crazy racist, and Joe isn't, even though, he ran on, well, let's say they ran the 92, 94, whatever, crime bill that systemically went after black people more than white people and mass incarcerated them. Yeah, he ran on how bad that was. Does anyone know who wrote and sponsored that crime bill? Because I do. His name would be Joseph R. Biden. He did. Or how about his best friend and mentor, he was a former Klansman. He fought against, the desegregating, because I don't care, you could say it's not his fault. He did a racial jungle. There's no reason why that would come out of your mouth otherwise. Thing about Barack being the first clean, intelligent, mainstream black man he's ever seen. This is like, what, 2008? You were around for a long time, Joe. Can't go into a 7-Eleven without a slight Middle Eastern accent. I'm not kidding. Neither am I. That's what he said. Whether you're going to vote for him or vote for me, then you ain't black. Poor kids could be just as smart as white kids. I'm sorry, there's like a long list of just stupid shit that continuously comes out of his mouth. Yet somehow there's everyone on that side going, no, he didn't, no, he didn't, no, he didn't. Like, he actually did all that. Trump, they had nothing until he ran. They just, ran their suckhole. I don't know. Remember Charlottesville? Remember, there's very nice people on both sides. If you actually watch the whole thing, he did actually expand into the people, the anarchists, and doing all kinds of dumb shit. But, heaven forbid you actually look at that. You just follow your mainstream media who shows you the edited clip every night to make them look like a dick because they cut it down. Like, you have the ability to go and see the whole thing. It's a real thing. Believe it or not. Call me crazy, but it's real. It's very real. But again, he still thinks, all of that. White privilege being this big super thing. I hate to break it to you. There's people that are privileged. There's actors, actresses, musicians, all of their people, like athletes, like these people that they're born privileged. I hate to break it to you. Crazy thing. Me and this individual grew up in the same town. Can't think of anyone that's actually done like big, like bad worldly things, but what? You had to bust your ass to get by there. I know where I came from. One, because my privilege that I got the house or any of these things. It's because, I worked my ass off for a very long time and blew my body to very big things. Like, you can say, oh, people still think they're privileged. Yeah, that doesn't, just because people are assholes doesn't mean that there's white privilege. They just think that they're better than everyone because they're white. It doesn't mean it's actually a real thing. Choices do that. Look at all the people like athletes and musicians that were literally in the gutter in these just terrible spots that excelled at music or acting or academically or in athletically in sports and got themselves out of there and their family out of there, and they're done great things. It's about work. Sorry. That's really all it comes down to anymore. Last time I checked, for getting technical, there's not black, white only dating sites or white entertainment television or white only scholarships. Saying affirmative action, which I hate to even go there, but it's not actually a real. People think they're privileged. It doesn't mean that actually white people are actually privileged. That just means those people that think that they're better, everyone that they're was privileged because they're white, that just makes them an asshole. Doesn't make white privilege a real thing, at least not to me. You can argue it all you want, but really, that just makes you a dumpster fire of a human being, in my opinion. Everyone's equal. You get treated for what you do in life. But you can get out anywhere. Whitehaven, you can get out Detroit, Chicago right now. You can Jackson, Michigan. There's a lot of bad places, and you can still get your ass out of there and do all kinds of great things. You just put in the work. It's not easy, but you can get yourself out of anywhere, no matter what color you are. Look at Ben Carson from Detroit. Stuttering issue, whatever his issue is. Yeah. Come on, man, sit there and read all the time. Look at him, neurosurgeon, head of HUD for a while. Like you can get yourself out of anywhere. Like it doesn't matter who the hell you are. So maybe I'm just tired of hearing that. I don't know. But most of my check, the only reason Drew has anything is because he busted his ass. Took him a while to finally get there to do it, but once he did it, he busted his ass, regardless of how dumb I think he is at times. A lot of people busting their ass nonstop. Don't matter who you are. But an asshole is still an asshole, regardless. On to another thing, that suddenly having over 20-year highs already of illegal apprehensions. Never mind the people are getting across, they're not catching what you know is happening. It's up over 20-year high. Somehow it's Trump's fault. And there's nothing wrong, which again, like super talking points. But my big thing on it is come here legally. If there's people who have to wait years and years, why are these people getting treated? Here you go, whatever you want. Pretty much shits on anyone else that wants to come here, shits on the people that live here, on all the homeless people and the veterans and everything that are going through tough times, that we should be taking care of our own, and especially those who took care of us before we just start giving handouts to the whole planet. And I'm not saying we shouldn't be taking, like, people like come here legally. People came here legally for a very long time. I have no problem with legal immigration. There's a system. It might take forever, but everyone else has a system. If I go into some other country illegally, and guess what? Lots of countries have lots of borders, and you have to prove, like, what the hell? You have to have proper paperwork to get there. Don't show up, get put in the system, and get a bus or plane ticket to wherever the hell you want to go, and the support until you get going. Like, that doesn't happen anywhere else. Sorry. Like, we're spending more on illegals than we do on, like, veterans. And look at the suicide rate there and the homeless rate. I hear one more person tell me, well, a lot of homeless people make that choice. Yeah, some do. Yeah, but there's something like catastrophically wrong with most of them, like mentally or something. PTSD riddled Marines and other veterans that served, that come back and they're not right in the head, and the VA is just useless. We all know that. Useless. And they lose their family, they lose everything. They're out on the streets. Guess what? I'm sorry, they should be getting taken care of better than illegals. If you don't think that, you really are dumb. Another good one. All these things that have been disproven. He thinks that we don't have an inflation or a spending problem. I hear that all the time. Like we talked last year, we did. We found the money the first time, we could find it again. It's like, no, bro, they're literally just under $1 trillion, like 890, 980, whatever those do, $1 billion in the hole already before we started spending last year, and they were continuously spending more money than ever. And inflation is real. It's like, why do you think everything's going up? The price of all kinds of stuff and all that. It's real. It's happening, but apparently that's not a problem. You just need to keep spending. That's going to make it go away. Somehow I'm the delusional one. I don't understand. I don't know. I don't get it. But inflation, like, numbers are catastrophic, actually. Business inflation, I think, was at its highest point ever recorded. It's up to like 7.8%. And they just think fast tracked and found the way around so they could spend $3.5 trillion more. I mean, somehow though it's still Trump's fault. Gas prices are Trump's fault. Like everything. Like, I would really like to know just where their brains like function, like, and how you could be that far crazy. Another example: January 6th was an attempt to overthrow, yada yada yada. Even though an armed insurrection, no one got charged like actual any weapons charges, if I remember correctly. Weren't too many. Big white supremacist thing that got disproven by the intelligence, the FBI, and all them. That was an attempt to coordinated attempt to overthrow the government. That's been now disproven, but somehow I'm the crazy one for saying it, even though people that work in Biden's FBI and all them are the ones coming out saying this. I don't know. Maybe I've lost my mind. I think I have. I think it's all these things. No matter what, like every other day, someone like just tell me I'm crazy and just throwing all kinds of nuts. Like you guys believe all this, like all of it. No matter how much, like everything comes out that it didn't happen, like they still believe it and tell me that I'm this crazy person. And then I have to support racism suddenly. Because, who I voted. Like it's like no, but that does make you sound like a jackass. Uh let's see. Other things before we get into the big one. He believes that WWE's product is amazing. There's a little one, but sorry, it's been in decline for forever. It's the Eagles' year. I believe Philadelphia Eagles every year is their year. The Phillies thinks Joe Biden is all there, and even people in the mainstream media are even coming out going, I don't think so about this guy. So that's all happening. Those are little ones. Now we're going to get to the big one. Somehow, there's all of this in the Middle East is like Trump's fault. Like we heard his plan. We knew what his plan was. His plan was contingent. And what was going on the ground. Not just saying, screw it, we're out to deal with it. Like, I'm sorry, like he did negotiations himself. Look at all the Trump stuff he undid, but he couldn't undo this. Like he literally undid everything else, every other deal. But here we are. I couldn't do it. Well, you still negotiated. You still extended the deadline. And here we are. And that's the part I don't get with me getting yelled at. Like, I mean, all the people like in the administration are like, well, the Taliban's cooperating. Excuse me, they're cooperating. Why could you not guarantee everyone safe passage to the airport? Why is ISIS telling people, like throwing out all these warnings and people getting told, don't come to the airport now? They're cooperating, there'd be no problems. You wouldn't have to, State Department wouldn't be putting things like that out in big letters to things that they're sending people that are over there. Stranded when we all leave here in 6 days. Less than that their time. I mean, like I get told that I'm crazy and delusional because they've got like 80 some $billion worth of equipment and they have more Black Hawks than over 80% of the countries on planet Earth we paid for. They're gonna have all the bases. They got over 600,000 weapons. They got all like our fancy drones, all of our technology. Like now it's fallen into the hands of the enemy in China and Russia right there, like saying we're right, we back the Taliban and all that. Iran, Pakistan, like all these things. And it's all been proven and it's all coming out of this administration's mouth. And somehow I'm the delusional one for using their words and all that. Like, I'm crazy. It's not like it's bad for terrorists around the world. Oh, you're crazy. You're just delusional. It's coming up with conspiracy theories. Like, well, I believe it was 2011. Seems like a long time ago. A certain idiot was vice president. And the president pulled everyone out of hastily when all his experts said, don't do it. See the irony there of Iraq. And I'm pretty sure by 2014, we were back in there because ISIS took over the whole thing, which is doing very bad things all over the world. So this is going to happen. Like anyone with the brain sees it coming. I mean, it happened. Like it wasn't even it was a decade ago. Like how the hell can we make the same mistake twice? Like in Taliban is in control. Took it, like they said, they somehow missed it, even though they were taking over like place territories and all that in like mid-April. They made the big run there, like they knew it was coming, even though they keep saying they didn't. You can't miss that unless you're just straight up incompetent. And all the reports they were getting from people on the ground over there, all that. Like it's gonna be just like it was there. Al Qaeda's got like 15 provinces now. ISIS-K doing something like China's gonna get all the lithium mines and all that stuff. Like it's just like how is that? And Joe said this isn't bad for our national security. Well, if this isn't bad for like this is better for our national security than the 2,500 people we had there supporting the Afghani army. And we didn't lose anyone in 18 months. Like we're spending more money than that getting these people and housing them here for however long they're going to be here. If they came over there, like it's going to cost us way, 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 way more. It already has than it would have been to stay there. And we wouldn't just gave like a terrorist group, like one of the biggest, like, air forces and all kinds of stuff. Like somehow the people argue with me to think this was done right. I'm sorry, if you think this is done right, you're an idiot. Like, who the hell thinks that pulling the military out before you get all the civilians and all the equipment, military equipment and all that stuff out first is right? Like, you get like the people out and you get the equipment out and you destroy what equipment can't get out, so it can't fall into the hands of the enemy and get all that fancy technology that they didn't have and use it against our technology against us. And then you get the people out and, well, the military people, you get military out, troops, and you bomb the hell out of all the bases you have there so they don't have them. And somehow we did it all ass backwards, and people are telling me I'm delusional for being upset about it. Well, I know a lot of people served a lot of years there. A lot of people, some of the people that died there. A lot of people that died since they came back. Because the VA is a shithole and the country doesn't give a shit. So I don't get it. I don't know. That makes me delusional. Screw them. Every last one of them. I don't get how, like, I'm delusional, because there's just like this whole list of crazy that I just went over. Like, it's all but stuff that's been disproven, and the Taliban getting all the equipment and stuff like that's been proven. Came out of his own people's mouths. I don't know why I get yelled at for it all the time. Because that's all they have. They don't have facts. They just yell stupid shit that they hear on the TV. Yeah. Like, if I'm delusional, what the hell are all of them? That shit crazy? I don't know. I don't have a better word for it. I'm sorry. I don't know, man. Like, you can't make this stuff up. And literally, like, you're delusional. Like, it just, like, we did the same exact thing pretty much the last time this guy was in any major office. And all hell broke loose around the whole world, and we had to go back. He says he did it right, and he's working with the allies. Yeah, Joe said that. Guess what? That's why all the allies, there's so many allies were speaking out about it. He didn't talk to anyone for so long during it. Like, he just did whatever the hell he wanted to, include pissing off NATO. Like, I'm sorry, I'm not delusional. You are. You live in an alternate world. All of you people over there. It's so ridiculous. I can even stay really, really calm during all this, or maybe I finally just got through. So I don't know, made a breakthrough, but like, if you're going to call someone else crazy and delusional and jump up in their face, how do you actually, like, do what Master Guns Fry did? He always told us to, knowledge, power. And you know all the orders, you know everything. Like, they can't get you then. That's the problem. Most people are just ignorant, and that's about it. Just don't care, really, is the big one. They always ask you why you're so crazy. Why do you? Nothing you can do about it, actually. Pay attention to what's going on. You pay attention to what people say compared to what they do in office, and know how the world works in politics. Like, you can actually make educated, decisions when you're voting. There you go. So you actually know who you're voting for, not just going down and believing everything that everyone says. Like, before I went in there, me and Chris were looking up stuff from all the people that were in there. See who said what and then did what, or what everyone did. Like, if they actually stuck to the word, like, there's nothing wrong with that. You're delusional if you think that there's nothing you can do. Like, pay attention, look stuff up. It's all there for you. Then you make informed decisions based on actual facts, and everything's okay. So you can do something if you actually, I don't know, put some effort in and think about someone besides yourself. That's the moral of it. Knowledge is power. I always say learn something, but I'm tired of getting called delusional and crazy, and I'm sure all you people are getting tired of being you're delusional and you're crazy and getting attacked by the social media Nazis and everything else because you breathed, and apparently you need to be fact checked for that, even though all the fact checks are wrong. Like, hell, remember the Trump bleach thing? Even MSNBC and CNN's fact checkers like, yeah, I never actually directly said that, but yet they still believe it. Wonder why? Because they heard the edited down clip that played on their news stations that they watched instead of the whole thing. Because I know a lot of people that actually watched his briefs in their entirety, so we actually know exactly what came out of his mouth. Because they're all there. Then when you hear stupid stuff, you go and find the whole speech. Oh, did you hear this? You didn't say. But stop calling people delusional. least have facts to back it up, because that'll make the world a lot better of a place and it'll hurt a lot less heads. Because really, I mean, save someone from getting a headache. Please, God, do it. But with that being said, I'm going to jump off of here for the day. Get ready for the other show I got to do, hopefully. I will be back with more Afghanistan and everything else, idiocy that's going to keep coming out because it's going to and other things. Don't forget to follow along. Right now, Facebook, YouTube, and Rumble for the videos. YouTube's probably getting dropped because, well, they're being YouTube. But the audio is still on Anchor, Breaker, Radio Public, Pocket Cast, Overcast, Spotify, and Apple and Google Podcasts. If you want to follow along and listen there, it helps me out, helps sponsor out, gets everything out there. Makes everyone happier, and you don't have to stare at this mug unless you want to. Yeah, that's up to you. So, and share it out. That's the big one. Please share it out. The shares help me out. Free advertising is the best kind of advertising. I know you people, everyone has friends that they could see it. So I'd appreciate it, but follow along, comment, tell me what you think. And until we meet again, my friends, enjoy the rest of your day. Thanks for listening and watching, and peace.